Hey there, I'm Jama, and over the past few years, I've become very interested in onomatology, the study of names. I never really liked my name until I researched the meaning of it. My name means paradigm shifter, and I'd like to shift your paradigm by shining a light on onomatology and how it can potentially help you find your purpose, help you communicate better with others, or even both. In each episode, I ask someone 8 basic questions regarding their name that focuses on onomatology. So sit back, relax, and try to shift your paradigm with this next episode. All right, so on today's podcast episode, I am going to be introducing someone who I know through music, and I refer to her as Millie. But Millie, go ahead and state your first legal name.
My real name is Mildred.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast. And we'll start with the first question, which is, did you know the meaning of your name?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah. Did you have any inclination about Millie versus Mildred?
I did on Millie because I'd had a little card that had it on, and it was basically talking about being a teacher and working with people.
That's cool.
Which I've always loved. So
yeah, and it is what you are. So it's perfect. But Mildred actually means gentle strength.
Gentle strength.
Okay. Which I love that meaning, and I've always loved the name Audrey too, which has a very similar meaning, which is noble strength. So I just thought that was very interesting. Do you have any thoughts about that meaning?
It just makes me feel like I'm in the right place, like I'm doing what I should be doing because I enjoy what I'm doing, and I think that means a lot.
Yeah, definitely. And I think with knowing you just for over a year now, my interactions and with you with my daughter, like I definitely feel like you're strong, but you're so gentle when you do it too, which is like perfect. It totally suits you.
I can turn the other way once in a while, but I try not to use that one very often.
Yeah.
Only when I need to get my point across.
Yeah, I love it. But that like kind of is gentle strength. So that's perfect. And do you know how your parents chose your name?
I really don't. I do my middle name, but I don't my first name. That one was one that apparently they just chose. And I don't know that they even had any special friends with that name. So,
okay. Do you know anyone else with the name?
I had met up with, and at one point I was married to a Smith, and there were 6 Smiths, 6 Mildred Smiths in the area.
Oh, wow.
And 2 of us happened to go to the same dentist, and we had fun because once in a while they would pull the wrong records. So then I changed it to Keith here, 40 some years ago.
Okay. All right. Very cool. And thinking back when you were a little girl or a teenager or just any time in life, have you ever wanted to change your name?
I always wanted to go by Millie, and my mother didn't want it. But at 16, I got my first job, and I was teaching piano. And the fellow I was working with that had the music store, he started calling me Mill.
Oh, okay.
So I went by that for a number of years, even got into that in school. Then when I got out into the real world after I graduated, Millie became a fixture. Mm-hmm. And it has stayed with me all through. But it used to be funny because there was one of the questions was if I ever disliked my name. Mm-hmm. And it was funny because when I was still in high school, I would be getting on the school bus, and I was one of the last ones on, and it was just like a chorus. Good morning, it was Matilda. Oh. I'm like, don't know where. Well, I do know where that came from. That was from a girlfriend. Oh. And it's like, I don't know why, but that's the name they chose for me.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
But that was only on the school bus.
Yeah. Well, how did that make you feel?
It made me feel good that they were acknowledging that I was getting on board, and that we were almost at school, so I didn't have to put up with them for too long.
Yeah. I love it. That's good. That's very good. And then if you were forced to change your first name, say like you had to go into a witness protection program, what would that first name be?
That's a a hard one to answer because I've never thought about ever having anything like that happen. And at this age, I'm sure it's not. I mean, I've made it to 81. Come on. But I would probably go with Elaine because that's my middle name, and my dad's name was Earl.
Yeah.
And that just kind of, they were going to call me that, and Dad says no, he didn't want that, so that's where they come the other name.
Okay.
But Elaine probably is what I would do because he switched his names.
Okay.
He was Basil Earl, and it switched around. He had it legally changed to Earl Basil.
Really?
So, yeah.
Did he ever tell you why?
Just because he didn't care for the name of Basil.
Okay.
Now, this was back in the early 1900s that this was done.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's really neat. I wish I could interview him.
Well, he's been gone since, let's see, 1986.
I was a year old.
Yeah, there.
Not even barely talking.
Oh my goodness. Well, he did. He lived to be 88, so he did well.
Good.
Good old farmer.
Good. Very cool. And can you elaborate a little bit more on this? Has your name ever been mispronounced? And if so, how did it make you feel?
There were times that they would come up with it being Mildred instead of Mildred, just simply because they were using the phonics system of pronouncing things. And it didn't bother me. It's just I would correct them.
Yeah.
That would have been that was my basic thing. So no, it wasn't a bother.
Okay. Okay. And do you think the meaning of your name, now that you know that it means gentle strength, do you think it has any relevance on the way that you act or see the world around you? And if so, how?
I think if had I known this before, I think it would have probably been an influence and I would have played off of it.
Yeah.
But since I am what I am, I'm not changing at this age.
Yeah. Do you think even not knowing it, like, and I know you haven't had a lot of time to sit with it, but do you think it's like a part of you even without knowing it?
Oh, I think so, definitely.
Yeah.
I feel it. Let me say it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Cool.
I think so.
Cool.
It reinforces, let's put it that way.
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
reinforces feelings.
Good. That's neat. I think, and you know what, that's so interesting because pretty much all of the people who I have interviewed, they have all said the same thing. And so I believe there is definitely something there to it in terms of, having a name and then living with it all your life. And either whether you know the meaning or you don't know the meaning, it's a part of you.
Right.
And that's kind of powerful if you think about it.
It is really. I can feel that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not a stigma, but I don't know. There's just something there that, it gets your attention. Let's put it that way.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
That's very cool. And last question. So in the Bible, Sarai was changed to Sarah, Abram was changed to Abraham, and Saul was changed to Paul. Just kind of wondering what you think the significance of that was being mentioned.
I think the significance on that one, I would go with the era in which it was happening, the situations in which they were involved in, and that was the strength in those names.
Mm-hmm.
The names that they originally had were unusual, and the other names were more maybe powerful, more comfortable with. And I just feel that biblical times had their rough times as well as we have. They had their great times. And I think that had a lot of incorporation into their names.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
That's a solid answer. I like it. Well, do you have any questions for me about onomatology or the podcast or anything like that?
I think the questions I asked you probably before we even started talking about this was interesting. I mean, it's not something that I've ever thought about or ever gotten involved in, and it's kind of been fun.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed doing it with you. Thank you
You're
for the opportunity.
Thanks for doing it with me. And I will say this, like I've encouraged people, especially on my social media, like there is a quote that is from someone, let me look it up really quick. It's kind of comical, but so it's from Eva Gabor, and she said, I don't remember anybody's name. How do you think the dolling started? The dolling thing started. And I thought,
Oh, goodness.
it's been very hard for me, like throughout my 20 years of being an adult and having my career, because you meet so many people, like trying to memorize names or remember people's names, especially like at church or wherever you go out and you meet a bunch of people. But I think like the best little fun tip trick I would give to people is if you're wanting to remember somebody's name, when you go up to them, just say, that's a really neat name or something like that, whatever you think about it, and then say, what does it mean? And then you engage in, a topic of conversation that's neutral, and then you start thinking about it even more, and it kind of is more concrete into your brain and you remember it more.
Helps to freeze that name in there. Okay,
Yeah.
another one that I had always used when I was in sales was I was trying to remember names because of other salesmen working with that person possibly. And I would try to learn something about that person that would go along with that name, kind of in what you're saying.
Yeah.
But also, if you had another person in your life that had that name, you could incorporate that thought in there too and say, okay, they're the same name as such and such.
Yeah.
And that would help sometimes too.
That's true.
So,
Yeah.
or something special that they were wearing. Maybe they liked a special color that came out in the conversation. And that would sometimes help too. So
Yeah. Definitely.
you learn little tricks as you work with it.
Right. It's fun.
It is.
Yeah, it's like, and names are so neutral in terms of like, it's not like religion or politics. You're not gonna offend anybody, and it's a good way to just kind of break the ice. So.
Exactly. I think my thing that gets me the most is when you have a John, you have him junior, senior, 4, 5, 6 generations down. That gets me confused.
Yeah.
Because when I'm dealing with, and I had this happen, I had 3 Johns in the same family, and it was 1, 2, and 3, and it's like, how do you remember which one it really is?
Yeah.
That can get embarrassing.
Yeah.
Because you pick up on the wrong one, and that can be a challenge. I had another one where I had a family of Charlies.
Yeah.
And that was
so maybe a nickname you can find out about that.
Yeah. Right. You're looking, you're striving to find something else to go by.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting.
Oh,
funny.
That would be my big one right there.
Yeah. Neat. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.